Hey guys, a quick talk. Just saying, making sure that this is part of the discussion in cold approach. A lot of people get hung up on flirting. It's not very heavily discussed. It's not properly discussed. A lot of people don't do a lot of work on it. It kind of just exists. There exists a world where a lot of coaches and a lot of people will just tell their clients that it's okay to compliment a girl endlessly. Even if she's good looking enough to be a model, or she is a model, or gets paid for her looks in some way. A lot of coaches don't make the distinction that a compliment is separate from a flirt. A compliment is half of the job. It's half of the idea. To properly flirt, to actually flirt, you need a compliment plus a tease. Now, I've talked about this at length before. We'll continue to do so because it's contested, but it's misconstrued, confused. A lot of people get hung up on this. They don't really understand. But for true clarity, full clarity, a flirt is a compliment plus a tease. You need both parts. You need both. It can't be one or the other. If you are approaching the girls that you really, really want, right? Again, the girls who get paid for their looks, or they could get paid for their looks, complimenting will get old very quickly. Very quickly. Those girls like that have heard it all. They endlessly, right? So it's very doubtful that as far as physical compliments, you're going to say something so outstanding, right? You want to keep that in mind. Compliment plus tease is a proper flirt. Complimenting her just by itself is not enough, and it's not a flirt. But you also want to keep in mind, especially with those type of girls, that you can compliment on something other than her looks. So if she's a nuclear chemist, if she created her own language, right? If she speaks 20 languages, if she's a business consultant, if, whatever reason, she can play two instruments blindfolded at the same time, right? You can compliment her on many things other than her looks. A lot of guys get hung up on that as well. So it's very important to realize the depth, the difference in terms of complimenting that you can have. You don't have to just compliment looks wise. It is important, even for the better looking girls. It is still important to mention, of course, to mention. You should still do it. But there are many ways to compliment her. And again, compliment plus a tease is a flirt properly. Remember that structure. Practice that structure. Don't just practice one or the other. Practice using and synchronizing both of them. It's tough to get used to. It will take a lot of adjustment, but it's the correct way to do it. And taking more time to learn it correctly will help you in the end and will aid you in the end, as opposed to doing it incorrectly and having to unlearn and relearn all over again. So keep that in mind. Go out and put it to practice.